Hello everyone, welcome to MedTuber. In this video, we will be revising important tables in pathology that are need to be revised before appearing for any postgraduate medical entrance exam. First, we will see immunohistological markers associated with different types of tumors. First, vimentin and desmin. These are the immunohistological markers associated with mesenchymal tumors and sarcomas. Cytokeratin and epithelial membrane antigen. These are associated with carcinoma. Leukocyte common antigen CD45 positive. These are associated with lymphomas. LeuM1 marker is associated with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Calretinin and mesothelin. These two markers are associated with mesothelioma. This is very important MCQ. Chromoganin, synaptophysin, neuron-specific kinolase, secretory granules. These are associated with neuroendocrine tumor. S100 marker is associated with neuroendocrine tumor, melanoma. Pre-melanosomes are associated with melanoma. HMB45 marker is associated with melanoma and angiolipoma. This is important thing. CD1A is a marker for Langerhans cell histiocytosis. CD17 is positive in GIST, that is gastrointestinal stromal tumors. CD99 and MIC2, these are markers for Ewing sarcoma. This is very important MCQ. Actin myosin myoglobulin is the marker in rhabdomyosarcoma. Myoglobulin is a marker in thyroid carcinoma. Progesterone and estrogen receptors, positivity and negativity, are seen as a markers in breast carcinomas. Thrombomodulin and Uro3 are markers in bladder carcinoma. Prostate specific antigen is a marker in prostate cancer. Placental alkylase phosphatase seen in germ cell tumor. Inhibin is a marker in granulosoma cell tumor. WT1 is a marker in Wilms tumor. Thyroid transcription factor TTF1 is a marker in lung adenocarcinoma and carcinoma thyroid. This is very important MCQ. Factor 8 is a marker in angiosarcoma and Kaposi's sarcoma. Now we will see the cell lineages of blood cells. First, the pluripotent stem cells, which are present in the bone marrow, are positive for CD34. They give rise to myeloid or trilineage stem cells and lymphoid stem cells. Myeloid stem cells are positive for MPO, myeloperoxidase. They are more positive towards MPO than CD17, 13 and 33. These are important. Myeloid lineage gives rise to granulocyte monocyte progenitors, erythroid progenitor, megakaryocyte progenitor. These granulocyte monocyte progenitors are divided into neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils and monocytes. These are granulocytes. Pan-leukocyte marker is CD45. Erythrocyte progenitors in the presence of erythropoietin gives rise to RBCs. RBCs have a central pallor. Megakaryocyte progenitors in the presence of thrombopoietin gives rise to platelets. These are CD41 and CD61 positive. Then coming to lymphoid stem cell progenitors, these give rise to agranulocytes. They form pro-lymphocytes, which in turn form B cells, T cells and natural killer cells. Pro-lymphocytes in bone marrow form B cells. These cells are PAX5 positive, PAX5 gene positive. They form B cells which are CD10 and CD19 to 24 positive. Pan B cell marker is CD19. This is important MCQ. And in thymus, which is Notch gene positive, T cells are formed. These T cells are marked by CD markers 1 to 8 and CD28. Pan T cell markers is CD3. This is important. In bone marrow, they form natural killer cells. Natural killer cells are CD16 and CD56 positive. Then we will learn individual cells. Coming to RBCs, they have a diameter of 8 micrometers with no nucleolus. Then coming to neutrophils, they are found in inflammation. They are granulocytes. They are most abundant granulocytes with a diameter of 10 to 12 micrometers with a nucleus of 2 to 5 lobed. You can see in this picture. Then coming to eosinophils, they are 2 to 4% of leukocytes. Eosinophils identifying feature is they have red granules, brick red granules. Increased in parasitic infections and hypersensitivity reactions. Then coming to basophils, they comprise to 0.5 to 1% of leukocytes. Chromatin is finely textured. Granules are dense basophilic granules. They obscure the nucleus. Coming to lymphocytes, they comprise 20 to 25% of leukocytes. Diameter is 6 to 8 microns and nucleus is spheroid or ovoid. Chromatin is dense and dark. Coming to monocytes, they comprise to 3 to 8% of leukocytes. They are the largest leukocytes. Diameter is 20 micrometers and the nucleus is indented or bean shaped with a granular straight gray cytoplasm. They are seen in chronic inflammatory disorders. Coming to platelets, small cell fragments with many vesicles and no nucleus. The number of 1.4 to 4 lakhs and diameter of 2 to 4 microns. Now we'll see the CD markers. CD1A positivity is seen in Langerhans cell histiocytosis. CD207 is positive for Langerhans protein. These two, don't confuse between these two are important. CD228 is positive in T cells, T cell tumors like for T cell type ALL. CD10 is positive in KALA, that is common ALL antigen. CD11C, 25, 103 and 123 are positive in hairy cell leukemia. CD17, 13 and CD33 are positive in myeloid cells. So myeloid cell tumors like scleroma have positivity towards these CD markers of CD117, 13 and 33. This is an important MCQ. CD8 T cells, cytotoxic T cells, targets viral infection like EBV in infectious mononucleases. CD15 and CD30, these are markers for Reed-Steinberg cells seen in Hodgkin's lymphoma. CD15 negative and CD30 negative is seen in lymphocyte predominant Hodgkin's lymphoma. CD15 negative and CD30 positive is seen in anaplastic large cell lymphoma. These are important. Don't confuse between these three. CD19 to 24 is for B cells, B cell type ALL. CD23 and CD5 positivity is seen in CLL and small ll. CD23 negative and CD5 positivity is seen in mantle cell lymphoma. In most bacterial infections, neutrophilia is seen. In viral infections like infectious mononucleosis, mumps, German measles or rubella, lymphocytosis is seen. Parasitic infestations and allergies, eosinophilia is seen. And certain infections like typhoid fever, some virus infections and rickettsia, certain protozoal infections, we see leukopenia. Now we will see important special stains and fixatives in pathology. Cheal-Nelson stain or Quignon stain are used to stain acid-fast organisms like Mycobacterium tuberculosis. May-Grunwald-Jeamsa stain is used for bacteria and blood elements. Gram stain is used for bacteria. Tollidine method or Stenner's method. Stenner's method is important. Used for staining Helicobacter pylori where they are stained black. Grocott-methenamine silver method or PAS periodic acid shift stain is used for fungi. Macchiavello stain is used for rickettsia and viral infections. Shikata's oricin stain is used for hepatitis B antigen. Musi-Carmine stain used for staining of Cryptococcus. This is very important. Wharton-Starry method used for staining spirochetes. It can be asked as an image MCQ. Gomori-methenamine silver stain used for staining fungus where the fungus is stained black. Colcophor white stain used for staining Acanthamoeba where it is stained white. Then we'll see the stains for connective tissues and lipids. H&E stain, that is hematoxylin and eosin stains, is used to stain all the tissues most commonly used to stain. Trichome stain is used for collagen. Verhoef and Van Giesen stain, which is a base stain for elastin, elastic fibers. Luna stain is for elastin and mast cells. Silver methenamine stain is used for staining reticulin. This is very important MCQ. Oil Redvo stain on fresh specimen or frozen section. Sudan black is for fixed specimen. These are stains of fat. These both are very important MCQs. Oil Redvo stain and Sudan black stain. Mallory stain is used for muscle striations. PAS or silver methenamine stain, these both are used to stain basement membrane. Bilchowski stain is a silver stain used for staining neurofibrillary tangles and saline plaques. Luxor flask blue is a stain used for myelin. Papanicolaou stain is used for staining cervical exfoliative cytology in Pap smear. Now we will see stains for carbohydrates. Periodic acid stiff stain is used for staining glycogen or neutral mucin or mucoprotein. Alcian blue stain at pH 2.5 is positive for acid mucopolysaccharides. It differentiates acid and neutral mucopolysaccharides. Mucicarmine stain, it is used to stain acidic epithelial mucin. Alcian blue at pH of 1, it is highly acidic mucins, sulfated mucins. Coming to the stains used for amyloid, Congo red stain and metachromatic stains like crystal violet. Used to stain myeloid, gold standard is Congo red staining with apple green bifringes under polarized light. Stains used for minerals, pigments and miscellaneous. Von Koser stain, which is the most commonly used stain, is stain used for calcium. Alizarin red S is a stain which is used at pH of 4.2 and it is specific for calcium. Alizarin red is specific for calcium but most commonly used in Von Koser. Prussian blue stain, it stains hemosiderin, that is iron. Fontana Manson silver stain is for melanin. Modified Fauchert stain is for bile pigments. Orison stain and modified rhodamine stain is for copper. Now coming to hematological cells, Romanowski stain like Jimsa, Leishman, White and Jenner is used for staining routine blood and bone marrow. Myeloperoxidase stain used for staining myeloid cells. Sudan black B stain used for myeloid cells. Non-specific esterases or esterase stain is used for monocytic cells. Acid phosphatase is used for T lymphocytes. PAS, periodic acid shift, is used for lymphoblasts. Block positivity of PAS is seen in lymphoblasts, dysplastic erythroids. Granular positivity is seen in megakaryocytes. These two are important MCQs. Trap positivity is seen in hairy cell leukemia. This is very important MCQ. Tartarite resistant acid phosphatase stain. Toldin blue is for mast cells and basophils. Now let's see important fixatives. Protein fixative, 10% buffer normal formalin. It is most commonly used. Fixative used in electron microscopy is glutaraldehyde, most commonly used, and osmium tetraoxide can also be used. Special tissues for staining, fixation of special tissues for GA biopsies and testicular biopsy. For infertility diagnosis, Boyne's fluid is used. For bone marrow biopsies, Jenker's fluid is used. For brain tissues, formalin ammonium bromide is used. For adrenal medulla, Orth's fluid is used. Fixatives for cytopathology, nuclear fixatives of Carnoy's fluid. Cytoplasmic fixatives is Champy's fluid. Pap smears, 95% ethyl alcohol. This is very important MCQ. For cell blocks, Boyne's fluid is used. Coming to different types of modified macrophages. Adipose tissue macrophages located in adipose tissue. Monocytes are modified macrophages of bone marrow or blood. Kupffer cells are modified macrophages of liver. Sinus histiocytes are modified macrophages of lymph node. Alveolar macrophages or dust cells. Dust cells is an important MCQ. Or modified macrophages of pulmonary alveolus of lungs. Tissue macrophages are histiocytes or of connective tissues. Langerhans cells are modified macrophages of skin and mucosa. Microglia are modified macrophages of CNS. Hofbauer cells are modified macrophages of placenta. Intraglomerular mesangial cells are modified macrophages of kidney. Osteoclasts are modified macrophages of bone. Epithelioid cells are modified macrophages of granulomas. This very important MCQ. Red pulp macrophage or of red pulp of spleen. Peritoneal macrophages seen in peritoneal cavity. Then coming to the type of giant cells, physiological giant cells. These are osteoclasts, syncytial trophoblasts, and megakaryocytes. Langerhans gel cells. In these, nuclei present in the periphery and they have a horseshoe pattern and they are seen in tuberculosis. Foreign body giant cell. Foreign body giant cells nuclei are arranged randomly and haphazardly. Seen in granuloma formed by foreign bodies like sutures. They appear refractile when viewed under polarized light. Foreign body giant cells are seen in sutures like intravenous drug abuse and talc. Then coming to Taunton giant cells, they are seen in xanthomas, fat necrosis, xanthogranulomatous inflammation, dermatofibroma. Then coming to Warthin-Finkeldy giant cells, they are seen in measles. This is a very important MCQ which was repeated multiple times. Reed-Sternberg cells are seen in Hodgkin's lymphoma. Tumor giant cells are tumors like hepatic cellular carcinoma. Now coming to different translocations. First we'll see chronic myeloid leukemia. In chronic myeloid leukemia, the gene chromosome associated is BCR-ABL and the translocation is between chromosome 9 and 22. And coming to mantle cell lymphoma, the gene associated with BCL1, translocation between chromosome 11 and 14. In acute myeloid leukemia, a number of genes are involved, but the translocations, 3 translocations in this AML are important. Translocation 821, 15, 17 and 16, 16. These are asked multiple times. Follicular lymphoma, the gene associated with BCL2, the translocation between 14 and 18. Ewing sarcoma, the gene is FLI1 and EWS, translocation is between 11 and 22. Then Burkitt's lymphoma, gene associated is a MYC gene, translocation between 8 and 14. This is very important. And desmoplastic small round cell tumor is important, associated with gene WT1 and EWS, associated with translocation 1122. Then coming to important genes and chromosomes associated with the genes. The gene RB gene, that is retinoblastoma gene, is associated with chromosome 13 and gene P53 is associated with chromosome 17. Remember these numbers of the chromosomes, you can't remember the whole thing. APC gene is associated with chromosome 5q. This P and Q are also important, 13P, 17Q and 5Q. NF1 or hematin, that is neurofibromatosis 1, is associated with 17Q11. This whole thing is important. NF2, neurofibromatosis 2, is associated with 22P12. WT1, that is the Wills tumor, it is associated with chromosome 11. BRCA1 associated with chromosome 17 and BRCA2 associated with chromosome 13. Chromosome 17, BRCA1 and NF1. Remember like this. WHL, it is Whipple-Haendel-Lindau syndrome associated with chromosome 3p. P16 gene is associated with 9P. Red gene is associated with MEN2 syndrome, associated with 10Q. This is very important. ABO blood grouping is associated with chromosome 9. RH typing is associated with chromosome 1. PRSS1 gene is associated with chromosome 7Q. Friedreich's ataxia gene FXN is associated with 9Q21.1. Myotonic dystrophy gene associated with 9Q. Menin or MEN1 syndrome is associated with 11Q. Coming to chromosomal abnormalities, chromosomes involved in different abnormalities. Translocation 922 is seen in CML and ALL. FAB types L1 and L2. Translocation 814 is seen in Burkitt's lymphoma, ALL L3, immunoblastic B-cell lymphoma. Burkitt's lymphoma is most important one. Translocation 1517 seen in acute myelocytic leukemia. This is very important. Translocation 1114 mantle zone lymphoma, multiple myeloma and CLL. Translocation 1122 is very important MCQ seen in Ewing sarcoma. Translocation 1418 is seen in follicular lymphomas and DLBCL. Translocation 614 is seen in cystadenocarcinoma of ovary. Trisomy 12 is seen in chronic lymphocytic leukemia. This is very important. Chromosome 8 and 17 translocation is seen in blast crisis of CML. Between 5Q and 7Q is seen in myelodysplastic syndrome and AML. 1P is seen in neuroblastoma. 13Q is seen in retinoblastoma, osteosarcoma, small cell carcinoma of lung. In chromosome 22 it is seen in meningioma. This is very important in MCQ. Chromosome 22 in meningioma. This is a table of cancer predisposition syndromes and associated genes. Different tumors associated with the syndrome is very important. In some syndromes, the genes associated and the chromosomes numbers are also frequently asked as an MCQ. Now we will see ataxia telangiectasia. ATM gene is associated with chromosome 11. Tumors associated or breast tumors. Bloom syndrome BLM gene, chromosome 15. Consists of tumors like acute leukemia. Cowden syndrome P10 gene, associated with chromosome 10, have tumors like breast and thyroid. You can easily remember this as there are 10 cows in a den. 10 cows in a den. So the gene is P10 and the chromosome is 10. Familial adenomatosis polyposis APC gene, it is associated with chromosome 5Q. It has tumors, intestinal adenoma and colorectal tumors. This is very important MCQ. Familial melanoma associated with gene P16 INK4 with chromosome 9P, associated with tumors, melanoma and pancreatic tumors. This is also very important MCQ. This one and this one. Familial Wilms tumor is associated with WT1 gene of chromosome 11P and have tumors like renal tumors, pediatric renal tumors. Hereditary breast or ovarian cancers are associated with BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes, which are associated with chromosomes 17 and 13 respectively, associated with tumors of breast, ovarian, colon and prostate. This colon and prostate, don't forget them. Hereditary diffuse gastric carcinoma associated with gene CDH1 with chromosome 16 with tumors of stomach. Hereditary multiple exostosis with a gene of XT1 EXT2 with a chromosome 8q with tumors of exostosis and chondrosarcoma of bones. Hereditary retinoblastoma associated with gene RB1 with chromosome 13q associated with tumors retinoblastoma and osteosarcoma. This retinoblastoma is also very important MCQ. Hereditary non-polyposis colon cancer associated with MSH2 or 3. This is a very important MCQ which was asked multiple times. Associated with chromosome 2p and associated with tumors colon, endometrial, ovarian, stomach, small bowel and ureter cancer. Hereditary papillary renal carcinoma which is associated with MET gene have chromosome 7q associated papillary kidney. Juvenile polyposis is associated with SMAD4 gene with chromosome 18q associated gastrointestinal and pancreatic tumors. Lee-Fromme syndrome associated TP53 of 17p chromosome associated with tumors like sarcoma breast. This is also an important M syndrome to be asked. The MEN syndromes. MEN1 multiple endocrine neoplasia 1 associated MEN1 gene of chromosome 11q have tumors of parathyroid, endocrine, pancreas and pituitary. MEN2A is also associated with red gene of 10q chromosome have tumors like medullary thyroid carcinoma, pheochromocytoma. These MEN syndromes are very important. Neurofibromatosis 1 associated with NF1 gene of chromosome 17q associated with tumors like neurofibroma, neurofibrosarcoma and brain tumors. Neurofibromatosis type 2 associated with NF2 gene of chromosome 722q have tumors like vestibular schwannoma, meningioma and spine meningioma is very important. Gorlin syndrome associated with PTCH gene of chromosome 9q associated with tumors like basal cell carcinoma, medulloblastoma and jaw cysts. This is also very important. Tuberous sclerosis associated with TSC gene of chromosomes 9q and 13p associated with tumors like angiofibroma, renal angiomyolipomas. This is also very frequently asked question. Von Hippel-Lindau syndrome is associated with 3p chromosome have tumors like kidney, cerebellum and pheochromocytoma. Now coming to blood clotting factors. There are 13 clotting factors. Factor 1 is fibrinogen. Plasma half-lives are also asked as an MCQs. With a plasma half-life of 2 to 4 days. Clotting factor 2 or prothrombin has a plasma half-life of 3 to 4 days. This is 2 to 4 and this is 3 to 4. Factor number 3 is thromboplastin. Factor number 4 is calcium. Factor number 5 is proaxalerin and labile factor with a plasma half-life of 3 days. Factor number 7 is stable factor with plasma half-life of 4 to 6 hours. Factor number 8 is anti-hemophilic factor A with a plasma half-life of 8 to 12 hours. Factor number 9 is Christmas factor or anti-hemophilic factor B. Factor number 10 is Stewart-Power factor with a plasma half-life of 40 to 60 hours. Factor number 11 is anti-hemophilic factor C. Factor number 12 is Hageman factor or glass factor. Factor number 13 is very important, fibrin stabilizing factor or Lucky-Loran factor with a maximum plasma half-life of 11 to 14 days. Fitzgerald factor is HM WK, that is high molecular weight kininogen. Now we'll see the features of peripheral blood smear. Normal RBC have a central pallor. In polychromasia, the RBCs look like this with a large bluish RBCs lacking central pallor. This bluishness is due to residual RNA. They are associated with rapid production and release of RBC and elevated reticulocyte count as in hemolytic anemias. Then basophilic stippling, as we can see in this diagram, the small bluish dots are seen in RBCs. These bluish dots are clustered polyribosomes. Associated with hemolytic anemia, lead poisoning. In lead poisoning, lead inhibits the pyridine 5 nucleotidase, which normally digests the residual RNA. Then Pappenheimer bodies. These are grayish irregular inclusions in RBCs composed of aggregates of ribosomes, ferritin, mitochondria. These are associated with conditions like hemoglobinopathy, splenic hyperfunction, and megaloblastic anemia. Target RBCs, they look like this. They have a central round staining in RBCs. They are associated with conditions like liver disease, beta lipoproteinemia, hemolytic anemia, and severe iron deficiency anemia. Heinz bodies. These are several grayish round inclusions represent aggregates of denatured hemoglobin in RBC. This is very important MCQ. Heinz bodies are aggregates of denatured hemoglobin. They are associated with conditions like G6PD deficiency or unstable hemoglobin. They are indicative of oxidative injury. Then coming to Howell-Jolly bodies, there are few purplish inclusions in RBC represents residual fragments of nuclei containing chromatin. Usually RBC lack nuclei. These are residual fragments of nuclei. They are associated with conditions like splenic hyperfunction, post-splenectomy, and severe hemolytic anemia. Coming to histiocytes, these are fragmented RBCs. These are helmet-shaped cells. They are indicative of sharing of the erythrocytes within the circulation. They are associated with microangiopathic hemolytic anemias including DIC, TTP, hemolytic uremic syndrome, mechanical causes of hemolysis such as prosthetic valves. Spirocytes, the RBCs have lost their central pallor and appear spherical. They are associated with hereditary spirocytosis, autoimmune hemolytic anemias, toxins, and burns. Then coming to teardrop cells, these are P-shaped RBCs indicative of mechanical stress on the RBC during release from the bone marrow or passage through the spleen. They are seen in thalassemia, megaloblastic anemia, myelofibrosis, and myelopathies. Then coming to Burr cells, which are also known as echinocytes. This echinocytes name is very important. There are smooth undulations present on the RBC surface circumferentially. They are associated with uremia and drying artifact. Then coming to Spur cells are acanthocytes. The name acanthocytes is very important. They have spiny points present on the surface circumferentially, reflective of normal lipid composition of RBC membrane. They are associated with liver disease, beta lipoproteinemia, RBCs lacking the KEL blood group antigen. These different peripheral blood smears image-based questions are being asked frequently. Morphological differentiation of malaria parasites. The different morphological differentiations can be done between these parasites of Falciparum, Vivax, Ovale, and Malariae. In Falciparum, the infected red cells are normal in size and contain molar clefts. In Vivax, the cells are enlarged and contain Schaffer dots. In Ovale, they are enlarged, oval, and fimbriated, and Schaffer dots are present. In malaria, normal and microcytic, stippling is not usually seen. Then differentiate the ring forms. Ring forms are early trophocytes. In falciparum, delicate ring forms are seen which form a ecole, like ring-like chromatin dots. In vivax, they are large, thick, usually single. In oval, they are thick, compact rings. Then see the pigment. The pigment in falciparum is dark to black clumped mass, and that of vivax is fine and granular. And oval is coarse light brown, and that of malaria is dark prominent. Differentiate between gametophytes. The gametophyte of falciparum is sausage shaped. This is very important characteristic. And that of vivax is spherical and compact and almost fills the whole the cell and contains a single nucleus. And that of oval is oval and fills 3/4 of the cell but smaller than the vivax. In malaria, it is round and fills half to 2/3 of the cell. Now we'll see crystals in urine. Triple phosphate crystals. These are triple phosphate crystals. They are seen in alkaline urine. They are rectangular in shape. They are coffin shaped. Coming to uric acid crystals, they are seen in acidic urine. Uric acid. So in acidic urine, the brown lemon shaped star shaped crystals and bifurcent with polarized light. These are calcium oxalate crystals which are envelope shaped and seen in acidic urine. Coming to plain CAS, hyaline CAS consists of Tom Horsfall proteins. These are non-specific and are 0 to 2 in per low power field is normal, and most frequently observed CAS. Increased number is seen in renal diseases, dehydration, fever, congestive heart failure and diabetic therapy. Then waxy CAS, these are easily visualized due to high refractive index. These are observed most frequently in chronic renal failure. This is very important MCQ. Broad waxy CAS are called renal failure CAS, also seen in acute and chronic renal or allograft rejections. Then coming to cellular CAS, RBC CAS, they appear red-orange color. They are pathognomic of glomerulonephritis like RPGN. They are indicative of bleeding within the nephron. They are also seen in IgA nephropathies, lupus nephritis, bacterial endocarditis and renal infarction. WBC CAS, they are protein matrix with WBCs. They are seen in pyelonephritis, tubulointestinal disease, also seen in glomerular diseases, lupus nephritis and interstitial nephritis. Epithelial cell CAS, they are protein matrix with tubular cells. They are seen in acute tubular necrosis. This is most important, and also seen in heavy metal poisonings. Inclusion CAS, granular CAS, composed of glycoprotein matrix with protein and cellular debris, so seen in it may be physiological and pathological. Physiological hyperparathyroidism and also coarse are seen in renal papillary necrosis. They are coarse and fine. Then coming to fatty CAS, their Maltese cross pattern in polarized light, commonly seen in heavy proteinuria, characteristic of nephrotic syndrome. Then crystal casts are seen in urates and calcium oxalate crystals, indicative of crystals in tubules or collecting ducts. Then coming to pigment CAS, granular CAS with pigment stain usually occurs in acute kidney injury due to hemolysis and rhabdomyolysis or acute tubular necrosis. Bilirubin cast is seen in obstructive jaundice. Broad casts are seen in chronic renal failure. This is a very important MCQ and they indicate poor prognosis. Coming to the relation between the proteins and their associated neurodegenerative diseases. A beta protein is associated with Alzheimer's disease. Tau protein is associated with a variety of diseases like Alzheimer's disease, frontotemporal lobar degeneration, Parkinson's disease. with LRRK2 mutations and progressive supranuclear palsy and corticobasal degeneration. TPD43 protein is associated with frontotemporal lobar degeneration and myotropic lateral sclerosis. FUS protein is associated with frontotemporal lobar degeneration and ALS. Alpha-synuclein is associated with Parkinson's disease and multiple system atrophy. This is very important MCQ. Polyglutamate aggregates. These are distinct proteins per disease. They are associated with the Huntington's disease. And some forms of spinocerebellar ataxia and spinal bulbar muscular atrophy. These familial cancer syndromes and cutaneous manifestations we have already seen. Then coming to rosettes. Homarite rosettes. This is a diagram of Homarite rosettes with a ball-like arrangement of cells that enclose a meshwork of fibers in the center. The fibers represents primitive neuronal processes. These Homarite rosettes are associated with tumors like neuroblastoma, medulloblastoma, peanut tumors and pinealoblastoma. Then coming to flexor intestinal rosette, consists of tumor cells which circumscribe a central lumen. Central lumen is present. The lumen contains small cytoplasmic extensions of the encircling cells. It is associated with tumors like retinoblastoma. True ependymal rosettes are seen in ependymoma, the tumor ependymoma, the rosettes with an empty appearing lumen. If the lumen is empty appearing, it is true ependymal rosettes. If the lumen has tumor cells, this flexor intestinal rosettes. Extensions of tumor cells. Perivascular pseudo rosette. It contains spoke wheel arrangement of the cells like this. Tapered cellular process radiates around a wall of centrally placed vessels. Perivascular rosettes, pseudo rosettes, vascular. So vascularity is present at the center. It is associated with tumors like ependymoma, medulloblastoma, peanut tumors and etc. Pineocytomatous and neurocystic rosette. This is neuropil rich rosette similar to Homarite rosettes. They are larger and more irregular in counter. They are associated with pineocytoma and central neurocytoma. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to MedTuber.